everything you say that's gravity, there's gravity that is an explanation. They're basically using gravity as a crutch. And I would think that scientists would be the last ones to use gravity as a crutch because I think they hold the highest standards when it comes to evidence and proof and confirmation of the things that they say. Science is supposed to be repeated, observable, experimental things that can be verified. I haven't seen one argument yet that convinces me that you need to have gravity on a flat Earth. There's nothing where this force has to be holding down everything upside down beneath the Earth on the globe. You know, the oceans and people, everything just being perfectly held down where it needs to be so it doesn't fall from the bottom of the globe. Gravity is basic. Okay, the next question.
No, here's the difference. We can describe gravity. We can say what it does to other things. We can measure it, predict with it. But when you start asking, like, what it is, I don't know.
Hello, everybody. You were listening to Feed Your Mind. So, gravity is a myth, a theory, and it's also a religion. You see, the heliocentric brainwashing agenda has convinced most of the world that gravity is actually a real thing. You see, most people forget that it's a theory. You have to actually remind them that. Most science-minded people actually take gravity as a fact. And so hopefully this video will remind everyone that gravity is simply a theory. You see, Isaac Newton allegedly had this apple fall on his head, and this came to some epic understanding that gravity is a thing. To me, gravity is simply weight. You see, if an object is heavier than air, of course it's gonna fall. And then if you put helium in a balloon, helium is lighter than air, so it lifts up. And things like a feather and maybe a leaf or whatever, it's not super heavy, so it falls. The only reason gravity was invented was to describe this heliocentric solar system theory where planets are floating around in outer space and spinning and everything's synchronized at perfect timing so that nothing ever bumps into each other. This is why science has created gravity. It's to explain such a theory. Things dropping and falling does not prove anything. And if you notice, gravity is like the favorite response that you'll get from a heliocentric believer because anything you say, they'll say gravity this, gravity that as an explanation. They're basically using gravity as a crutch. And I would think that scientists would be the last ones to use gravity as a crutch because I thought they hold the highest standards when it comes to evidence and proof and confirmation of the things that they say. Science is supposed to be repeated, observable, experimental things that can be verified. I haven't seen one argument yet that convinces me that you need to have gravity on a flat Earth. There's nothing where this force has to be holding down everything upside down beneath the Earth on a globe. You know, the oceans and people, everything just being perfectly held down where it needs to be so it doesn't fall from the bottom of the globe. Gravity is basically just something that science has came up with because they needed answers and they needed a way to explain things. So that was the missing piece of the puzzle that they said, well, let's just create this piece of the puzzle that we're missing because otherwise our theory will not make any logical sense at all. The solar system, heliocentrism, none of that is possible if you take away gravity. So the Illuminati power structure came up with gravity, and that was the secret puzzle piece needed to complete the brainwashing where you can explain a solar system and a globe ball where people are upside down. So everybody in Australia and around that southern area of the globe, Argentina and South America, all those people are nearly upside down pretty much, and they're just being held up by magical gravity so that they don't fall from the ball. See, until Flat Earth started asking all these questions, there was no gravity waves. Gravity was limited to pseudoscience theory of relativity. But then after the Flat Earth movement comes out, all of a sudden you have gravity waves that were discovered, but only they can see them. So before I get out of here, allow me to clarify what I mean when I say gravity is similar to a religion. It's because you are saying that this gravity is doing things that only something with intelligence could do. You see, this gravity is smart enough to hold down the appropriate things at the appropriate times and applying the perfect pressure to the ocean at the bottom of the globe so that the
I
water
already
doesn't
know.
fall. But yet a bird can
Hope
fly
you're having a good
freely
day,
in
though,
the
my
air.
brother.
For the gravity to be able to do what you're
My
claiming
nigga
it
say
does,
just too
it would
busy.
surely have to have intelligence. I mean, if you really think
Hell yeah.
people live upside
Real
down
nigga
from you,
shit.
that seems more science fiction than anything I've ever heard of.
Hold up, what'd he say?
Because it would surely have to have intelligence. I mean, if you really think people live upside down from you and sideways from you, that seems more science fiction than anything.
That does seem more science fiction if you think people living upside down and sideways from you and shit like this fucking picture. I'm at work, bro. I'm tuned in, though. Won't type much. No doubt, my nigga. Shit. Back on this good shit. You know what I mean? Trying to spread this word. This is a good depiction, though, of what they claim the earth is doing. You know what I mean? People upside down, backwards and shit. Motherfuckers walking under the staircase. This photo is crazy, but it makes a lot of sense, though. Especially when you go to this part right here about, look at this beginning of this video.
It's called gravity.
What is gravity?
You have no idea. Okay, next question.
Wow.
No, here's the difference. We can describe gravity. We can say what it does to other things. We can measure it, predict with it. But when you start asking, like, what it is, I don't know.
Hello, everybody. You were
What
listening
type
to...
of answer is that?
What is gravity?
You have no idea. Okay, next question.
Wow.
No, here's the difference. We can describe gravity. We can say what it does to other things. We can measure it, predict with it. But when you start asking, like, what it is, I don't know.
Hello, everybody. You were listening to Feed Your Mind.
No,
So
you don't
gravity
know.
is a myth, a theory, and it's also a religion. You see,
Shit is a myth.
theory of relativity. But then after the flat earth movement comes out, humans are crawling up on the sides of a ball. Sounds I've ever heard of. That's like an ant on a ball. I mean, like a bug could crawl up the side of a basketball. But to think that humans are crawling up on the sides of a ball sounds pretty absurd to me. And to think that people in China and Australia live upside down for me is absurd to me as well. So when it comes down to it, gravity is a fairy tale. Because no one in this world has ever seen water cling on to a ball. Water always remains flat and level. That's why they call it sea level. Check out my playlist, Proof Science is Religious.
Yeah, they've never duplicated, you know what I'm saying, this theory about this water sticking to no ball and all that, man. So to be believing people just upside down on a ball sticking to it because of some fake gravity that they can't even really explain what it is, and then it's just a theory, man. This shit whack. You don't need no gravity on flat earth. You don't need gravity on flat earth. It's already flat. Whatever weighs more is weighed down. You know what I'm saying? A feather gonna float down to the ground because it's light. Helium gonna rise. You know what I'm saying? Because it's lighter than air. Anything lighter than air gonna rise. Anything heavier than the air is gonna fall. Simple. Shit is simple. And it makes sense. All water leveling out and becoming flat and all that.
For much more information, I'll leave the link in the comment section in the description box. Simply enter your email address at feedyourmind1.com. That way I can send you some cool news briefs throughout the week. It's completely free. Simply like, comment, share, and subscribe, and include your favorite Flat Earth proof, and you're automatically entered into a chance to win a free collectible from my Feed Your Mind pop-up shop. Please chip in $1 to $5 on my Patreon page. I got some cool gifts for you over there. Because a truth channel like this is going to require us to be listening.
Yeah, I need to go chip in on my man's channel. I keep
We're
saying
on your
that.
side tonight with a new tool to fight robocalls and telemarketing scammers.
You know, sometimes I get so mad, I just yell at my phone. You won't have to do that, though. Our On Your Side investigator, Jonathan Hardison, has new tips for protecting yourself from robocalls, starting with a new app.
Where's the fucking...
Americans will get about 3 billion of these. Just...
Hello, Patreon subscribers and new listeners. This is Feed Your Mind. And so, back in 2009, NASA set off some detonations on the moon in order to conduct some experiments. And so they broadcast this to the world on live TV. And so I reviewed the footage and I noticed something that I want to share with you all. So I'm going to play the clip and show you what I found. And we'll discuss what we watched at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that.
We're looking at an image from a lunar probe, and down there somewhere, closer to the moon is an actual 2.2 ton rocket that's going to set off a big plume. Should happen shortly. Let's listen and watch.
Science, please change NIR 1 to OPR 9. Over.
Copy NIR 1 to OPR 9. Command flight, set it up. Set November or Mike. November.
I'll be right back.
We are, the science team is now communicating to the flight team to adjust some camera levels.
Flight confirmed, near infrared, November, correct?
On the near infrared camera.
Off send, NIR 1 to OPR 9. Copy, sending command. All stations flight, mark Centaur impact.
That was an announcement by the flight director that the Centaur impact should have...
Flight payload confirm receipt of command, over. Flight payload, curtain start, over. Copy that, payload.
We should be looking for some signs of the impact on the leftmost part of the...
by with mid-infrared changes.
The left side of the shadow, right below the dimpled crater on the crater, the larger crater rim.
Flight, this is Science. Make the rate changes. MIR 1, 1 hertz. MIR 2, 0.1 hertz. Over.
Copy, Science command flight, MIR 1 to 1 hertz. Sending MIR 1 at 1 hertz.
And the science team is directing the flight team to adjust the sampling rate of some of the instruments to fit within the 1 megahertz.
Ready with MIR 2 at...
Oh, what happened? This shit didn't blow up?
The 1 megahertz signal limit.
What happened with this shit?
Go flight. Command flight, send MIR 2,
That
0.1
shit
hertz.
didn't even detonate. Fuck.
MIR 2, 0.1 hertz.
Well, there's going to be a second impact, but we understand even though it's not detectable by our eyes, there was an impact, and it seems, according to some of the jargon we heard, to have been successful. Jim Garvin is with us. He's a former NASA scientist. Jim, we're trying to pick up what happened. What can you detect?
Straight bullshit.
Well, we're waiting for the first sign of the flash that we'll see with one of the 9 instruments on the LCROSS shepherding spacecraft. And meanwhile, the observatories on Earth, including the one in Earth orbit, Hubble, is watching these for the signature of this plume, this curtain of debris that has been jettisoned by this 2.3 metric ton impact. So that's where we are.
But Jim, is it your understanding that it has successfully impacted? Because it doesn't sound like we've seen it.
They don't know what the fuck going on. Yeah, look.
Centaur impact point, even though the...
So Jim, this right now is the point of view from the LCROSS lunar probe. It's going to crash into the surface of the moon in about a minute and a half or 2 minutes, and it's supposed to fly through all this 6-mile-high debris field. And it's at that point that the craft will detect whether or not there's water in the atmosphere, or rather kicked up.
Right, Jim Garvin? Yes, that's one of the ways we can tell. The shepherding spacecraft has instruments in the near-infrared and mid-infrared that can detect the signatures of water in different phases, particularly a gas phase. So we'll see how much is there, down to 1%. We can now see the event coming on behind me right now. And then other observatories will see the effect after the fact. What do we just say, Jim? You think we just saw the dust plume?
NIR 2 to OPR.
We just saw it.
So
now we're changing the rates on some of the cameras so we can sample the data well enough to get it back from Earth.
So Jim, when we just saw that white flash, that was the LCROSS shepherding aircraft, as you refer to it, flying into this great big dust cloud.
That's that bullshit.
Right. What we were seeing was the flash of the impact of the big empty upper stage on the moon, the force of several hundred pounds of TNT, and then watching that flash with the shepherding satellite following 4 minutes behind.
Now, Jim, tell us the significance of this today.
Oh, shit, girl. Yeah, man.
Jim, they're getting very close.
Oh, I don't even remember this shit from 2009.
Great. We're getting the temperature signature of the pulse from the impact, which we expect several hundreds degrees increase in temperature in this very cold place.
Velocity flight shepherding spacecraft impact. Stations report LOS.
Okay, we've lost signal now on the shepherding.
Stations at Goldstone just reported
West Socket, 11:35.
It's a whole big clusterfuck, man. What is
So
this?
notice during the first detonation, the reporters had no idea anything happened. They were baffled as to why they didn't see any indication of an impact.
Right.
According to reports, we were supposed to be able to see this dust plume from here on Earth with a small telescope. The way
Listen
they
to
were
that.
talking, it almost sounded like you should be able to see it with the naked eye.
And then NASA cut in and started talking all the scientific jargon as the reporters braced for the second impact. And then when the second
We were supposed to
impact
see
took
that from
place,
Earth with
you
a
saw the screen
telescope?
go white,
The
and then they
impact
showed
on
you a
that
little
shit?
animation,
I don't even
and then the
remember this
screen
shit
cut to
happening.
the NASA control room where they started
happened in
clapping,
2009?
cheering, I guess to make you feel like you saw something. But once
Right.
again, the
You ain't
reporters
see
were baffled as to why they didn't see any dust plume, and they didn't see any type of video evidence that anything had taken place. As I analyzed the footage, it just looked like it was a still shot of the moon that was being zoomed in.
Now, if you want to know much more information about how the moon is not what you were told, I'll leave a link in the comment section in the description box where you can get up to date on all of my moon research. Simply enter your email address at feedyourmind1.com.
That way I can send you some cool news briefs throughout the week.
It's completely free. Please chip in $1 to $5 to my Patreon page. I'll hook you up with some free
Keep
videos
these
before they
videos
come out.
going.
Plus, I have some other
Hold
cool
up.
gifts and surprises for you over at patreon.com/feedyourmind. I'm giving away free collectibles from my Feed Your Mind pop-up shop. Simply like, comment, and subscribe, and include your favorite Flat Earth proof to enter.
Please click your notification bell. This has been another episode of Feed Your Mind. Thank you for tuning in. Signing off.
Next, face ass nigga. I'm keeping it coming, don't worry. Check this out.
Hello everybody, you are listening to Feed Your Mind. So today we will discuss the complex water distribution system of Earth, which includes lakes, streams, rivers, and oceans. The complexity of the water distribution of Earth is very intricate. So how convenient for the water to be distributed throughout most of the Earth. So in your local city, you might notice a lake somewhere nearby, and what is going on with that lake? Why is it there? Most scientists will try to say there was a meteor impact that caused that lake, or most scientists like to say there's some type of glacier movements that happened somewhere around 20,000 years ago, where these glaciers formed all of these lakes. But the thing is, why don't these lakes overflow when it rains, and they actually seem to remain pretty level throughout the year? And so we know for sure that a large amount of these lakes have some type of river system or stream system that helps regulate the water levels. And so this water system that is set up is actually pretty complex. And you pretty much have to conclude that this lake system and stream system is too convenient for it to be by chance.
From what I've observed, pretty much every single lake in the world is connected to one river system, which is connected to the ocean. And all bodies of water are connected to the world's bodies of water. So on this earth, there's really only one body of water. And so when you're at your local lake, you're looking at water that is flowing throughout the entire world. Now check out my video, Water is Not What You Were Told, for much more information about this, because when you go to your lake, you will see waves in the water even if there's no wind. So waves are not what we were told. And so I'll leave a link in the comment section in the description box so you can check out the secrets about waves.
There's some type of underground system of rivers and streams where water can be distributed as well, because not all lakes have streams and rivers running out of them. But according to my research, most of them do. Just look at how the water system and the lakes are connected with the river systems to distribute water throughout the earth. Is pretty complex. And so scientists are insisting that these lakes and river systems are randomly formed by glaciers and stuff. But the way these waters flow throughout the earth just has to be an intelligent design. So we already know that water does not curve. And with the earth being about 70% water, we must conclude that the earth is flat, because water is always level. It can never be demonstrated to curve when laying in a large body of water. The argument about water droplets is null and void, because that's when water is falling. When water is laying flat in a large body, it does not curve around an object. It doesn't matter if I put a ball in the bottom of a pool, you won't see any indication of the surface of the water curving over that ball. And it's one of the biggest proofs of a flat earth. And now when you add in the complex water system that lakes and rivers reveal to us, we must conclude that these rivers and lake systems are by intelligent design in order to distribute water throughout various parts of the earth. I also remember reading in the book of Genesis that river systems were created to help distribute water. I believe it was the Euphrates and some other rivers that were created to carry water throughout the earth. Oh, and there's another thing I want to mention before I get out of here. It's simply look at the river maps and how water is distributed against dry land on earth. And you'll clearly see how the river system is set up kind of like the vein system of the human body. And the veins have capillaries and all types of veins that distribute blood across the human body. And so if you notice, you see the main arteries on both the human body nervous system and also the river system of the earth. And off of those main arteries is the main flow of water through the systems of the earth, similar to how the main arteries distribute blood across the human body. And then you have the smaller capillaries that stem off of the main arteries of the human body that distribute blood to various places. Just the same, you have these little capillaries of streams coming off of the main river systems. And those systems are connected to the oceans and the seas of the world. And so when you look at the river system, it's kind of set up the same ways. And so is water kind of like Earth's blood? I mean, the river systems are set up pretty much like the veins of a human body. And it's clear to see. So it definitely appears intentional how the river systems are set up.
And so if we take the Mississippi River, for example, we can see that the Mississippi River runs through the entire
This shit is interesting, right? Oh, look what's happening. What's happening? Hello, Paco fired up the stream 2 minutes after you, did he?
One river, which is kind of like the main artery. And so an interesting thing to mention is
I look and see who's streaming.
Earth, that would mean at certain points of this Mississippi River, water would have to travel uphill before reaching the southern part of the continent to flow out through the Gulf of Mexico.
Because the river is actually 2,320 miles. Now, if you look at the globe curvature map, there's an 8-inch drop for every mile squared, and that comes out to
so the water
700 to 1,000 miles
south
of
and north
drop. So that comes up to like a giant hill.
Oh, look at that. The water's going uphill.
Down. The hill has to go up and then down. It's not a one-way street when it comes to a curve. So at some point within that 2,320 miles of Mississippi River, the globe Earth would have to curve upwards at a certain time.
Which means the water is going uphill.
And I want to know, how is it possible for water to run uphill within that curve?
Damn! Niggas ain't thinking about that shit. How the fuck? That's a fucking excellent point. That's a fucking excellent point. If this shit is curved, how the fuck? How the fuck is that river, you know what I'm saying, going up through this bitch? How is the water constantly running down this motherfucker? The Mississippi River is all dead water, really. What do you mean it's all dead water? Hey, nah, Paco fired the streamer. Nah, man, you know, you look at the, I go and look and see who's streaming before I stream. Oftentimes, you know what I'm saying, to see if anybody's on there, you know what I'm saying, talking about anything worthwhile or anything entertaining. If I don't see nobody really on that shit, then I just fire my shit up. So it's very, and then it take like from the time I look at that shit to the time I actually hit the fucking broadcast button on my shit, be like 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes or some shit. So it's possible to just bump heads with another streamer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, water is alive for sure. I was just playing some video yesterday about water, and they was saying to charge the water. Oh, that was Quasi-Luminous saying that. To talk to the water before you drink it. And I've actually done that before, because I've seen research and seen things about how they took some water. Water has memory, and you can talk to it. They took some water and put it in one room and put another glass of water in another room, and spoke positive things to one of them and negative things to the other one, and they had the charges, a positive and negative charge after they checked the charge on that shit or something. So they were saying, like, you can talk to the water and tell it what you need it to do for you or whatever, you know what I'm saying, to be pure or to help heal you, or, you know what I'm saying, all type of shit. You know what I mean? Speaking your intention into the water. Living water crystallizes when frozen. When frozen, dead water does not. What does that have to do with the Mississippi River being dead water? Are you saying that it doesn't freeze? Crystallize? What does water do? Wait, living water crystallizes when frozen. Dead water does not. What does dead water do when it's frozen? Because to my understanding, anytime water freezes, is going into a what, crystalline stage, a crystalline form or something like that. It forms ice crystals. Freeze? What do you mean? Hey, how is water flowing up the hill of the curve, though? That's an excellent point that he made. No, I haven't, but what does that mean? That what? It means when the water doesn't get cold enough, you know what I'm saying, to freeze. All water doesn't freeze. All lakes, all rivers don't be freezing. It probably should be getting frozen at some point, though, if you think about it. I mean, shit should be freezing up in different places of the, you know what I'm saying, in the north. You would think in the north, wherever the fucking Mississippi River at, that bitch flowing, you know what I'm saying. Research dead water. Yeah, I'm gonna research Mississippi River dead water, to be exact.
The dry lands of America just to distribute water. And so this whole water distribution system and how it appears, and you can see clearly how it delivers water from the oceans onto the land area. It's pretty clear that this is intelligent design. And so on a globe Earth, that water would have to be traveling uphill at certain areas, which is scientifically impossible. And so that's just yet more confirmation that water remains level and flat.
Right. Check out my Water Is Not What You Were Told playlist for much more information. I'll leave the link in the comment section and in the description
this nigga
box.
serious.
Simply
right here,
enter
man.
your email address at feedyourmind1.com.
That way I can send you some cool news briefs throughout the week.
It's completely free. Please chip in $1 at my Patreon page to help keep this channel running so I can put out more
why
videos
you would say
for you.
that. I can see why somebody would say you're not supposed to drink water while you're upset. For the same reasons that I just said about that water taking on that charge. Water taking on the charge of whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever the vibration is around it. Right? So if water is taking on the charge of whatever vibration, whatever energy vibration is around it, if that's true, then yeah, that makes sense. You probably wouldn't want to drink water or something when you upset, because then that's going to upset the water and make the water bad, in essence. We need to do more research on that. Let's see what else we got. The Flat Earth Society didn't want you to see this. Let me see this. Now this dude is a flat earther, so while he would have a video, I guess he's being sarcastic. Let me see, hold up. I guess he's being sarcastic about this.
Hello, Patreon subscribers and new listeners. You are listening to Feed Your Mind, and today we will discuss some information.
What does it say? I've never heard such paranoid bullshit. That's okay. That's okay. But just sit back and enjoy the show. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all, or you get dismissed up out of here. I don't give a fuck whether you care or not. That just is what it is. So take heed or don't. Many contaminants allow dead water to freeze, aka Detroit. What you just said, well, okay, but what? So dead water freezes and doesn't become crystalline? How can that be? It freezes but don't form ice crystals? What? And this has nothing to do with being paranoid. This is just exploring all options. Ain't nobody paranoid about nothing. What is there to be paranoid about? You're poisoning subjective people's minds. Well, that's your opinion. Well, I told you if you ain't had nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all, didn't I? Didn't I just tell you? Didn't I just tell your ass if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all? You hard-headed, ain't you? Contaminated dead water can only freeze with added shit. Added shit like what? I'm poisoning subjective people's minds, but the people that done lied to all these subjective people and really poisoned their mind, you don't give a fuck about that. Are you going and finding the people that poisoned 99% of all of our minds and telling them the same thing you telling me? Get the fuck out of my face.
Information that the Flat Earth Society doesn't want you to know. And so the Flat Earth Society was created in 1956 by an individual who was way ahead of his time, because the modern day Flat Earth movement really began picking up steam around 2014, 2015. Now, another interesting thing about this 1956 date is that this was right around the time NASA and the Antarctic Treaty was also established. And so isn't that interesting, Tommy? First, the Flat Earth Society was founded in 56, Admiral Byrd died in 57, NASA was formed in 58, and the Antarctic Treaty was formed in 59.
Wow.
Check out my age playlist for a chronological
Who would have ever known that?
Of the events that took place. And so the thing about the Flat Earth Society that you must know is that a good percentage of modern day Flat Earthers believe that the Flat Earth Society is actually controlled opposition. If they've been around since 1956, it just seems kind of like they're sitting on a ton of information about the Flat Earth, but they're not really organizing any conferences or trying to get the message out. It's just like, it really does kind of seem like if you do a search for Flat Earth, most of the general public will end up running across the Flat Earth Society. There's actually a few celebrities in the Flat Earth Society. Mark Sargent has actually been associated with the Flat Earth Society, and B.O.B. the rapper can also be found as a member on the Flat Earth Society's old webpage. They now have a new updated page, and you also have people like Obama and all the presidents and all the celebrities that mock Flat Earth, always bring up the Flat Earth Society.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
You be acting like a pure bitch.
They must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round.
And so I gotta give the Flat Earth Society credit on how long they've been aware of the Flat Earth. So the Flat Earth Society was already saying that the pictures of the globe Earth are not real pictures. They're not actual photographs of the Earth. Wow, they're manipulated photos to fool the general public. And so when the Flat Earth Society was asked about the curve of the Earth seen from space, apparently they've always been saying that this was a simple camera trick that uses a fisheye lens to add curvature to an otherwise straight and flat horizon. And so one more thing I must give the Flat Earth Society credit for is how they've been quoted as saying that science was pulling a hoax on the world in order to replace religion with science. And so they definitely have some of the basics of the Flat Earth truth down. And so the Flat Earth Society could possibly be something to look into for research for an educated flat earther who wants to know a little bit about the history of flat earth and what people were saying about the flat earth back in the 1950s up until now, because the Flat Earth Society actually has a pretty reasonable database where you can look up and see all this information that they've known about the flat earth. Now, some flat earthers are against some of the information that can be found at the Flat Earth Society, but when I browsed through it, I saw a lot of information that is compatible with modern day flat earth philosophy. I believe there is some things that are a little bit sketchy, but that's really the same with modern day teachings as well, because not all flat earthers are on the same page. So I can't really knock them too much. One thing I noticed is that it seems like the Flat Earth Society has now adapted to the dome, because that was one of the main issues some of the modern day flat earthers had, is that they had this idea about the flat earth disk being in space and accelerating upwards at a certain speed. But when I look at their new logo, it almost appears as if they've now done away with some of their old teachings possibly, and maybe they've come around to the dome firmament idea. And so I want to know what you think about the Flat Earth Society in the comment section. Do you trust them, or do you think that they're gatekeepers trying to keep people away from the real information about the Flat Earth? And so personally, I would not send a new person that I'm trying to teach about the Flat Earth to the Flat Earth Society, but there is a solution. One of my patrons actually has a very impressive website where you can send newcomers to the Flat Earth information so that they can actually discover the information that got the majority of us into the modern day Flat Earth movement. And so I ask that all of you watching this video, please check out the flatearthchannel.com. I'll leave a link for it in the comment section and the description box. And when you get over there, I ask that you sign up for the email newsletters right away because it's free of charge. And that way you can keep up to date and support a real Flat Earth website dedicated to showing you modern day information about the Flat Earth. The Flat Earth channel is a place where I highly recommend you send anybody that you're trying to teach about the Flat Earth. And plus, with all of the censorship going on with Flat Earth, this flatearthchannel.com website is very important because it's a place where the information won't be censored. If you do a Google search or a YouTube search for Flat Earth these days, a lot of times you're going to get some pretty sketchy results coming back. A lot of the videos now that come up when you do a search for Flat Earth on Google or YouTube and stuff like that are really starting to show you videos that have nothing to do with real Flat Earth information. And so now it's more important than ever to support a website like the flatearthchannel.com, where you can find information from Flat Earth researchers like Odd TV,
Rob Skiba,
Dave Murphy, Eric Dubay, and much more. And everything's right there on the homepage, easy to find and very
Look at it. He's telling you right now, it's all the modern day shit compiled for your ass in one spot, uncensored, where you don't even have to go sifting through all the fuck shit. You know what I'm saying, on YouTube, bumping into bullshit videos and shit, wasting your time. It's all right here. Go check this shit out.
Well done. There's a section for the top Flat Earth movies. There's a section for the latest Flat Earth videos, latest Flat Earth news. There's Flat Earth playlist and much more. So please stop this video right now and head over to
everything you need to know. If you want to know anything about this Flat Earth shit, modern day time, he's telling you right now where you can go find it. Ain't no excuse. Rufy, you're so brave, bro. I mean, why be afraid of the dark after death? Even if you walk away from the light, you're already dead. Why be so shook after death? You run to the light. They say the light is the moon, where you go, where they clear your memories, erase all your memories, and reset you to be born back into this motherfucking dimension again. And to stay away from the motherfucking light.
flatearthchannel.com and show your support by entering your email address on the home page, and also bookmark the page and send anybody that you're trying to teach about the Flat Earth to the flatearthchannel.com. The link is in the comment section.
Motherfucker talking about you fucking people brains up and you corrupting and poisoning people's brains by presenting information to them for them to decipher and discern and do their own experiments to find out if it's true. That's poisoning a motherfucker. This is these people's logic.
In the description box. Thank you for your support.
I'm giving away free collectibles from my Feed Your Mind pop-up shop. Simply like, comment, and subscribe.
Fuck that. I don't trust
no elements. You will start to see similarities between the names of the elements and the names of the planets.
You can't trust no one to raise you as a baby. Because the people who teaching you just brainwashed and only regurgitating the same shit they was, you know what I'm saying, taught. It ain't they faults, you know what I'm saying? It ain't necessarily just all they fault that they was a victim, you know what I'm saying? That our parents just was a slave and passed down the same, you know what I'm saying, shit to you. They thought they was motherfucking helping your ass out, I guess. You know what I mean? But we gotta do better though.
Information is very easy to detect once you see the obvious similarities. And so we got the element plutonium, and then we got the planet Pluto. We have the element uranium, and then we have the planet Uranus. We have the element neptunium, And then is it a coincidence we have a planet called Neptune? We have the element Mercury, and then we have the planet Mercury. You see, with that one, they didn't even play on the name at all. It's just outright the same name. And they even have the element titanium. And so was all of this a coincidence? I think not. We have elements named R.
Is all of that a coincidence? He thinks not. But does this shit even mean anything to anyone? I think not. Motherfucker, like, what? So what? So what? The motherfucking planets and they named after the fucking gods, or they named the elements after the planet and all this other shit, and it's all connected. So what? Who cares? What's on Facebook?
A, which is actually radium, but the thing is, Ra is also an Egyptian sun god. And so we also have abbreviations like HE, which is helium, but it's not too much of a stretch to relate that to Helios, the sun god. And so we also have elements named thorium, which is an obvious play on the word Thor, the god of mythology. And so I believe a lot of these gods are actually named after real spiritual entities that want to be known subconsciously. I mean, their names keep popping up everywhere. It's an obvious attempt to be recognized on a subconscious level. And scientists are the ones that named all of these elements and planets after these false gods. And then we got an element called Prometheus, and the name Prometheus is actually related to a titan of Greek mythology as well. And this one element called thulium, that's an interesting name indeed. I'm sure we heard about the Thule Society. And so this is all very complex, how these names are popping up all throughout science. And so the name Copernicus keeps on popping up with a lot of this stuff as well. Not only is he involved in creating the heliocentric solar system, his name also pops up in the periodic table of elements as an element called...
Which is the globe Earth, if you don't know what the heliocentric solar system is, just in case. This motherfucker responsible for that shit.
Copernicum. And so we know that Pythagoras and Copernicus are...
Bring that shit back, man.
And so this is all very complex, how these names are popping up all throughout science. And so the name Copernicus keeps on popping up with a lot of this stuff as well. Not only is he involved in creating the heliocentric solar system, his name also pops up in the periodic table of elements as an element called Copernicum. And so we know that Pythagoras and Copernicus are behind a lot of this paganism.
This motherfucker got his own element on the periodic table. Who would have known that shit? Copernicorn. What do you say that shit called? What the fuck, bro? This nigga responsible for the ball Earth and the ball solar system, and he's in the table of the element table.
Centric solar system. His name also pops up in the periodic table of elements as an element called Copernicum. And so we know that Pythagoras and Copernicus are behind a lot of this paganism and a lot of this modern day scientism that has to do with heliocentrism. This Copernicus guy has his name popping up everywhere when it comes down to these suspicious findings. I mean, for what we know, he was involved in the Roman Catholic Church. He was involved with the Jesuits. And so what's with all the naming all of these elements and planets after pagan gods? That's the question we must ask ourselves. And so we must also begin to wonder if science is actually really atheists. Or are these people that are actually in charge of publishing things? We must begin to wonder. And do they have an agenda? I mean, these scientists
are. All this shit is connected, as you see what I just showed you. He told you where that motherfucker came from and what they about. And that's exactly what science is. Science, these motherfuckers are atheists though. That's pumping this whole agenda. They trying to hide God. They trying to hide the creator. Talking about all this shit just happened from a big bang and it's all just happenstance and shit. Yet they naming all the fucking elements on the periodic table after these pagan gods and deities and entities and all these motherfuckers though. You know what I'm saying? And ain't none of this shit making no connection to y'all.
Obviously obsessed with Greek mythology, and they're actually attempting to convince everybody that you evolved from an animal and you're in the middle of deep space, revolving around a heliocentric sun, and that sun they just happen to worship. They said Copernicus was a sun worshiper, and they also said Pythagoras was a sun worshiper, and there's a lot of connection to sun worship throughout history.
right on back through the Greek times, to the Roman times, to the Egyptian times, to the Sumerian times. There's been this connection to sun worship that has been going on, and now they've actually convinced the world that we're flying around the sun. So the whole purpose of all of this seems to come down to modern day sun worship disguised as science, implementing sun worship on a subconscious level through the heliocentric globe agenda.
Look at this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Helios sun worship hidden in plain sight. This is Helios, the sun god, right? Or whatever. Look at this. And look at this. This ain't the same motherfucker with a robe on and then let the hair grow out. This is the same person, man. Stop playing, man. Stop playing. They done lied to all of us about what the fuck is going on here, man. Talking about this is Lady Liberty. Come on, dog. Look at this shit, bro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And so it seems like the main agenda is to convince the world that life just began on its own, and they disguise that as science through
like
the Big Bang Theory and
looking more like a nigga in drag or something. Not even really in drag. I mean, is the hair flowing all the way down long like a woman, or is it just coming to the shoulders right there like it's just like this just grown out some? This just grown out. Over time, the hair got longer. And they put a little cloth robe to cover up the body. But they call this Lady Liberty, though. Right? They tried to turn this nigga into a chick and pass this over, and none of us ever even made no connection because we never even knew about this. Nah, that's real, Rufy, but I noticed I said people. Nah, it's real, Rufy, but notice I said people and not me or you. Statue Liberty is the light, Lucifer. Oh yeah. I've been seeing some shit that's saying Lucifer ain't who they say. All the shit is trickery. What they presenting to us, like this right here. And they saying Jesus, what I was playing yesterday was saying Jesus was they taking Jesus the one that, and Lucifer is the good one and Jesus was the bad one. And that they swapped it around and teaching everybody Jesus was the good one and Lucifer was the bad one. That's why Quasi-Luma is running around talking about he the prince of darkness and he the one here to save everybody. Quasi-Luminous running around cussing motherfuckers out talking about, bitch, I'm the motherfucking Satan in the flesh, motherfucker. I'm standing on gallons of motherfucking blood here to goddamn save you motherfuckers. If you, at first glance, you would think Quasi-Luminous is on some pure evil shit by the way he talking. But if you really listen to what he's saying, he's actually trying to do something good. That shit is crazy as fuck. That Quasi-Luminous shit, I'm finna play some of it for y'all, Hold on.
Evolution. The people that have invented these lies are actually not atheists. They worship something else. And so why would this science agenda want everyone to believe that there is no creator through their false teachings of the heliocentric solar system? We'll have to cover that in another video. But let me know what you think. Leave a comment and let me know why you think that didn't go through all of this.
That shit was funny as hell last night. When we was up in Kitten Stream. She was so motherfucking drunk. She probably was about to throw up. She motherfucking just cut the stream instantly. Didn't even say bye. That shit just cut off. She was like, yeah, I'm drunk. She was like, yeah, I feel like I'm drunk. That shit just cut off. Shit. See how you held it down, though, and caught her ass. This nigga trolling was the only nigga in that stream last night with like 40 motherfuckers in there that was willing to call the old girl and talk to her. Y'all niggas gay as fuck on this shit. A bunch of pussy ass niggas on this shit. Y'all some faggots, scared to even call her. Where that hoe ass nigga Dirty Savage at? Bitch ass nigga. Y'all niggas eligible bachelors. Y'all ain't got no women. None of that. Scared to even call her ass. I wanna hear your motherfucking nerd ass on the other line sounding like Steve Urkel and shit, bitch. Can't even have a conversation with a woman and shit. Bitch ass nigga just sitting on the phone. I wish your puss ass would have called. Scary ass nigga. I only called her because you called me out like that. Yeah, call, nigga. You scared, nigga. Y'all niggas scared to call her motherfucking ass. If I wasn't married, I'd have called her ass. Shit, started to call her ass anyway. Not even don't know I'm trying to holler shit. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just on some friendly shit. Just what's happening with your drunk ass. Yeah, you know what I mean? These hoe ass niggas scared to call her and shit. Hey, that do be weird how niggas be in all the nigga streams but don't say shit in the women stream, right? If they do, niggas saying some old goofy ass shit. I was in there cussing them niggas out last night, challenging any one of them niggas to call the number, posting the number on that shit like call her. You know what I'm saying? Y'all some scary ass niggas. Them niggas would not dial that number. Them niggas wouldn't dial that number to save their motherfucking life. I was really trying to listen too, but the delay fucked me up. Yeah, I know how that shit be. Yeah, trying to listen to the stream while you was talking to her to try and, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, 'cause I seen you trying to, you know what I'm saying, seeing my comments, you was seeing like y'all was getting confused about if I was talking to you or if I was cussing dirty ass out. I'm like, nah. I ain't talking to this nigga trolling, he holding it down and shit. But that shit was funny as hell. I be all in these whole streams and not talking about shit. You be in these whole streams saying what? You be in these bitches streams calling them men and shit, telling them that they men. You know what I'm saying? The main women who be on here with like the sexiest bodies probably, you know what I'm saying? And the most feminine women on this shit. And you be in they streams telling them they are they really men and shit. Acting like they trannies and shit like that. You gay as fuck, nigga. Rufio.
Heliocentric false globe agenda. Check out my heliocentric deception playlist for much more information on the subject. I'll leave the link in the comment section and the description box. Simply enter your email address at feedyourmind1.com. That way I can send you some cool news briefs throughout the week.
And I'm finna drop this quasi-luminous shit on y'all ass though. This nigga finna fuck your whole world up. Tell you what you really are. This nigga quasi-luminous is going to fuck off. I be in these hoes. I be checking these hoes. Project Pathfinder. Oh shit. You'll be checking these hoes, nigga. You just be antagonizing hoes and like fag hagging and shit. Rupee, I've seen you in women's streams talking, but you be roasting their ass. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I mean. Bitch ass nigga Legs is a man. Nah, Legs ain't no man, man. Legs just caught up in this world. That's how I see people like Legs and Dogface. You know what I'm saying? Because they like, you know what I'm saying? They like, how I'm trying to say this. It's like, yeah, that shit do be funny as hell because this nigga be running around talking like he a ladies man and shit, and like all the women love him like he LL Cool Roof. You know what I'm saying? LL Cool R. And that shit is furthest from the truth, nigga. I am yet to see any females coming around your ass like showing you some love, acting like, you know what I'm saying, they feeling your ass like that. Your woman be walking straight past your motherfucking ass. Y'all don't even be showing no affection and none of that shit. You don't be hugging or kissing your woman or greeting her, or she don't be greeting you with none of that shit. Y'all got that cold love, nigga. But that's the way to break the ice, BA. Oh, that's your strategy? Either they cool or stuck up. That nigga say that's how you break the ice. You got them Joan on their ass first. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, laugh my ass out. Rufy break a bitch confidence down to 0. Oh shit. Hell nah. We can break the bitch all the way down. Fuck it. Very motherfucking Christmas. Bang. Bang on. Trolling YouTube. Trolling YouTube, brother. May the Holy Spirit fill your household with warmth. Alright, hold up, man. Let me see what I got. LL Cool R around this bitch. That's out. Alright, here I come. Let me get this for you folk first. What say? I got hoes on here begging me to let them come see me. Yeah. They're probably some little bumhole. Probably ain't no real woman is worthwhile though. You know what I'm saying? Is hitting on something. Probably some little thought, some little girl or something. You know what I'm saying? Right, some little hoe. It's easy to trick these little hoes and shit, man.
Hello and welcome
right
to
back.
Feed Your Mind. So
yeah, he lying anyway though.
Video
at the same time, yeah.
And
at the same time, that nigga lying.
I was driving
Lucifer
into
Afro
my driveway and I looked up and noticed that the moon had a halo around it. So I would suppose
this
that
nigga ain't got no
a moon dog.
This nigga got some little retarded hoes trying to
it is
come
called
through,
a moon
man.
dog, and it's the same
Ain't
thing.
no bitch worthwhile trying to come through,
around the
and
moon
man,
has
stop
something to do
playing.
with ice crystals. But the thing is that this moon dog reflected to me that the moon is not 238,000 miles away. Science wants you to believe the moon is 230,000 miles away for a reason, because right away you're looking at that moon and it looks like it's right above the clouds, and you see that ring around the moon, and that to me indicates that the moon is right above the clouds. The moon is not too far above those clouds, because for the moon to leave such a tight circle like that, with the radius as big as it is, not that much bigger than the moon, you would have to know that the moon is giving off its own light. It's not reflecting light from the sun, it's providing its own light. And when I seen that moon circle, and it was like a rainbow, what I saw. And so when I noticed that tight circle around the moon, you have to know that moon is very close to us. Because if the moon was actually 250,000 miles away, you would think that circle that appears right below the moon, which they call a moon dog, would be a much bigger circle. But if you really think about it, there would be no circle at all, because with the moon being that far away, I don't believe that any circle would occur at all. Because at that distance, how could such a focused beam of light reflect? Because if you have a flashlight and you move the flashlight close to the ground, you'll notice how the circle will be a tight circle. And so you'll notice with this demonstration that I did with the flashlight, that the closer you get to the carpet, the tighter the circle gets. And you see, you can even recreate this moondog effect with getting the flashlight as close as possible to the carpet, and then you start to notice a ring around it, and then the outer ring, as you notice in the moon, is actually very similar to this demonstration. And so this is repeatable, observable, scientific demonstrations where we can get answers. And so you see, the moon had to be close, because you'll notice that the farther that you move away from the carpet, the circle becomes less and less dense, and as you move farther and farther away, the ring becomes less and less visible. It kind of just becomes like a regular light in the room, where the entire room becomes lit up. I mean, you can kind of make out a circle shape, but it's just not really there like it is when you move in very close. So this demonstration of a moon dog seems to imply that the moon that we're seeing is very close to the clouds. It's not 250,000 miles away. It appears with how tight that circle is around the moon must have been much, much closer. I'm guessing, anywhere from 300 miles to 1,000 miles away. That's a rough guess. I mean, I have no idea how far away it is. It's just that we know for sure that it wasn't 250,000 miles away, just due to the tightness of the circle of the moon dog. And so with the clouds being so high in the sky and the moon not being terribly far from it, it can give off a focused beam of light like that. And this is not the first thing I've witnessed. Just not even a week ago, I filmed a strange occurrence, because I've always noticed this one star in the sky, and it shines brighter than all the other stars I've ever seen, and it looks like it's not really far from the surface of the earth. And I've seen it once before, maybe twice before, and it's very striking, because when you look at it, it looks like it's almost hovering above your head, just not too far, even closer than the moon, it appears. And so I finally captured footage of this star, and I suppose many would call it Jupiter, and that's what I'm guessing, because they would say how Jupiter is such a massive star. It really is a star. See, people think it's a planet, but the scientists already admit that Jupiter is a gas giant. It's a star. I almost made a video about it last year, but I never got around to it. And for this star to finally appear again, I immediately took out my phone and grabbed some video footage of it, because I was going to describe it to you guys about a year ago, but I didn't have the footage, and I never really seen that star again. But now that I've seen it again, I was able to quickly grab some footage of it, and maybe we can analyze this. So what is this thing? I mean, when you're out there looking at this star, it looks like it's much closer than any other celestial object I've ever seen before. And I remember one year it even looked closer. And so in the Bible, Lucifer was actually referred to as a morning star. So in Isaiah 14, verse 12, the Bible speaks of Lucifer as a fallen star. And it says, "How you have fallen from heaven, O shining star, son of the morning. You have been thrown down to earth, you who destroyed the nation."
I don't know, yeah. Between 30s and 40s, yeah, I don't know. Almost every streamer is past 30. You think 30 is your prime? I don't think 30 is the prime. I think it's later than 30. It's like 40. It's like 40 you prime out. It's like the over the hill gang. That's why they call it the over the hill gang. Because at 40, it's like you reached your peak, and then you go over that hill, and it's downhill from there. You know what I'm saying? Scroll up, gas, on my moon and cloud shit. Scroll up. Yeah. Yeah, they call it the over the hill gang at 40. You know what I'm saying? A man should still be strong and motherfucking doing his thing in his motherfucking 30s, bruh. Shit. You should be knocking shit out in your motherfucking 30s. With authority. Hold up, you say what?
World. So you see how it's referring to Lucifer as an actual star that has fallen. And we have discussed in earlier videos how meteors are actually falling stars.
What's the humanity star? What's the humanity star if it's not real? Is the humanity star supposed to be Polaris? Is that the same star? The North Star, Polaris, the one that don't move?
So they're not actually solid rocks, and there's plenty of evidence to back up that meteors are not physical objects. Meteors are actually fireballs, and they're actually falling stars. The Bible speaks of a third of the angels falling from heaven, and this brings into question Nibiru and Planet X and Wormwood, and I'm going to make a video about that very soon because a lot of the Christians believe in this Planet X that's going to come down from another galaxy or something, and they actually believe it's orbiting around the sun, and it takes a lot longer to make its journey than any other planet in the solar system. So when it finally comes around, there's going to be big trouble. But the thing is, when they speak of Wormwood, they're actually speaking of a star that's right here in the sky, and we don't know what these stars are. So when you look up in the sky and see stars, there might be good angels, there might be bad angels. We don't know what they are. But the Bible refers to stars many times as angels, and you just saw right there how Lucifer was described as a star, but then he fell. If you guys have seen this star that I'm talking about that looks very close, I feel it actually is very close. The thing is, what is it?
And so this star was behaving very strange. It almost appeared as if it was possibly sentient. And another thing about it is it was the only star in the sky.
And I really felt like it was watching us. And when I saw it the first time, it was literally above the house.
And the thing is, the first time I saw this star, it was way before I even knew about the dome firmament. And so I didn't even consider the possibility of the star actually being much closer. I didn't understand that stars don't have to be trillions of miles away like we were told our whole lives.
And I looked up, and when I saw the star, it looked like it was right above my neighbor's house. So from what I've been seeing about stars, they kind of behave a little strange. We don't know if they're just simply lights in the sky or if there's more to them.
I'm sick of your fucking rabbit ass mouth, dog. I'm sick of your fucking mouth, Rufio. I'm sick of you always spewing out these theories and all this bullshit ass shit. You know what I'm saying? And never showing no evidence for it, or never bringing forth nothing to support this filthy ass shit to be coming out your stinking ass mouth, bitch. Straight up. You always running around hollering all this crazy ass shit, but ain't never showing shit to support none of that shit, and just talking about people put this motherfucking star appearance shit. NASA was mad and shit, but you ain't never motherfucking explaining and showing none of this shit to support the shit that you be talking about. You know what I'm saying? You just be running around just talking and shit out your fucking asshole. Nah, yeah, I know I can fucking look it up myself, motherfucker. I do this shit. Clearly. That ain't got nothing to do with what I said, though. I said, why you ain't never motherfucking showing none of this shit to support none of the shit you be talking about. You always just talking about that shit, going all off in the motherfucking 10-minute rants and shit, looking away from your motherfucking TV screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck the comments, just letting all that shit scroll up. Like motherfuckers got time to be typing shit to your bitch ass and you not gonna read it and shit. Motherfucker just go off into a goddamn whole rant about some bullshit. And don't nobody even be hearing none of that shit. You ain't no teacher to sheep, but you constantly talking about that shit. Shut the fuck up, nigga. You a walking contradiction, bitch.
And I've seen movement of stars. I think people mistake those for UFOs all the time. And we've...
Man, all he do is be in there trying to teach motherfuckers. This nigga want to teach me something so bad. This nigga constantly in this stream trying to teach some shit with no fucking support and evidence, just running his fucking mouth. Halfway explaining some shit and shit.
See how the Bible refers to stars as angelic beings, and even Satan himself was once a star that fell to earth, which would be a meteor. And so stars, we have to wonder about what they really are. They're definitely not what science has been telling us. They're not burning suns in the sky. And if you think that star was
that
Jupiter,
shit don't even be logical, nigga. That's the whole fucking point. That's the whole point I'm making. 99% of the shit you be saying ain't even logical. You know what I'm saying? It be some old hocus pocus ass shit. Some old Star Trek ass shit. You know what I mean? That shit don't be logical worth a damn. And you don't even be trying to show no supporting evidence or show nothing with that shit. Don't nobody want to hear that shit, bitch.
Tell that the star was very close. And the moon that I saw.
Hey,
with
you
the
really
moon dog,
you think people be paying attention to you when you go off into them rants and you be just spewing and going on and on without even taking a breath and shit, and that shit just be all jumbled and compiled and just a bunch of garbled bullshit. Don't nobody even be listening to that shit. You need to find a better way to teach, nigga. Cause you're lame as a motherfucker.
circle, the halo circle that indicates a close moon, that was definitely not 250,000 miles away. The moon was very close.
Now, if you want to know much more information about how the moon is not what you were told, I'll leave a link in the comment section in the description box where you can get up to date on all of my moon research. Simply enter your email address at featuremind1.com. That way I can send you some cool news briefs.
Start running your punk ass mouth talking about dumb shit, and then you go with your lies and shit. It's like as soon as you get in your fucking feeling, you jump into your bag of lies. Look, they're your baby mama, nigga. Fuck out of here, nigga. But yeah, your fuck ass always gotta dig into your bag of lies and shit as soon as you get in your motherfucking feelings and shit. Bitch, you ain't never heard me say the moon was hell. If our souls are food to go to the moon, then it's hell. Nah. They say hell is a place where you know what I'm saying, tormented and you just fucked up and, you know what I'm saying, burning and shit. That's not the moon. That's something else. It's something, but it ain't hell. It's something. They didn't say hell is a place where you go and your memories get erased and you get reborn again back into this shit. But they do say that the earth is hell, though. And the moon is, I guess, part of the earth system. So there's one theory that when you have children, that's your spirit reincarnating, that's you. It's a theory that we all the same fallen angels, right? That's damned to hell and to live on this motherfucker repeatedly, and every time you die, that your spirit live on through your child, because your spirit is you. I mean, your child is you, right? Your child is half you and half his mother. Literally. Like, literally. Half of you and half of the mother, right? So, that's your spirit living on. So, they saying if we all came from the same, so how many angels did they say was cast to hell? How many angels was cast to the earth with the devil? 1/3? Was it 1/3 of the angels? How the story go? How many of the angels was cast down to the earth that the devil took with him? Well, they say we all descendants. Is one theory that we all descendants of those angels. However many it was. They had kids. And they just kept reincarnating. Every time they died, their soul kept. So if you are your father, and your father is his father, 1/3 of heaven, 1/3 is not 75%. 1/3 is 33%, dummy.
It's completely free. Please chip in $1 to $5 to my Patreon page. I'll hook you up with some free videos before they come out. Plus, I have some other cool gifts and surprises for you over at Patreon.
Yeah, 1/3 is 33%, Goofio. This nigga said 1/3 of heaven is 75%. That's 3/4, dummy. 1/3 is not 3/4. Look at y'all. Look at it. Look how stupid this nigga look. Somebody telling me dumb as fuck.
Eyewear or contacts, ordering from Iconic
Yeah,
is easy.
something,
Behind the scenes, it's another story.
Somebody tell him how dumb he is.
Prescription and insurance verified.
A
$220
third of heaven
Iconic.com. Looking at
is a third of heaven.
And
3 quarters.
You're listening to Feed Your
Stupid.
Mind. So
You're
today
not
we
as
will
smart as you
discuss
put
the
on this shit,
original
dog.
Scientific
That's what I'm trying to
story
tell
of
you.
the
You
moon.
not
People
as
don't wanna
smart
hear
as
this
you
one
think
for
you
sure.
are, boy. You
Now,
got a
the
way
original
too
story
big of
the
an
moon
inflated
begins
ego.
4.5
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I be
billion
chopping your
years
shit
ago.
down
According
every
to the
time, nigga.
scientific community, they have concluded that a planet-sized
chop your ego
object
down every
randomly
time,
crashed
Rufio.
into the Earth. They even have a name for this planet-sized object, and they call it Theia. No joke. So this
A
massive
fourth is a
Mars-sized
whole.
planet
If you
called
take
Theia
a
crashed
third
into
out,
the Earth.
oh my
and the force
God,
of
y'all,
the
look how
impact
stupid
caused
this
the Earth
nigga
to
is,
turn
man.
into molten rock. Now, chunks
This
of
nigga
molten
thinks Satan
rock
took
broke off from
75% of the
Earth
angels
and
with him.
merged together
You think
into one perfect
75%
sphere
of
that we now call the
100% of
moon.
God's
Gravity
angels
automatically
turned they
locked
back?
it into
Rufy,
perfect
you are a fucking
synchronization
idiot,
with
boy.
the Earth, so that we only ever see one side of it, even though it's spinning supposedly. But the spin just so happens to be in perfect synchronization, so that we only ever see one side of the moon. If the moon was formed by such a freak accident, by this Theia planet crashing into Earth, then why would any other planet ever have a moon? Because such an incredible story for our moon to form is one thing, but for all these other planets to have moons as well, and they're all mostly perfectly shaped spheres. I called out the scientific community on that, and so less than a year after my original moon video came out, scientists came together and came up with a new moon origin story. And so this new moon origin story begins like this. They're saying basically that instead of there being one big planet-sized object that struck the Earth called Theia, they're ruling that out now. Now they're saying it wasn't Theia that hit the Earth to cause the moon to form. It's now tons of tiny planetoids struck the Earth over a long period of time. Each time these little small planetoids struck the Earth, it kicked up a cloud of debris and dust that flew into our atmosphere and collected over time into our moon. So where did these random planetoids come from, and why aren't they still striking the Earth? And so the scientists are trying to say this was when the universe was still young and in the process of forming. And so scientists haven't been completely clear why they had to come up with this new moon origin story. They're basically saying that they've had trouble with their moon origin story, and they admit the original story with Theia crashing into the Earth, forming our moon, had a 1 to 2% chance of being possible. And so the scientific researchers got together and came up with this new story that now has a 10% chance of being possible. And so their original story wasn't believable enough, so they made a story that seemed a little more believable to the scientific community. They basically just changed it from one large planetoid striking the Earth to a multitude of random smaller planetoids striking the Earth. And what makes both of these moon origin stories that they came up with very impossible is that if this is what you're saying formed our moon, why would all of the other planets have moons as well? It just wouldn't make sense. If you're saying that it took all of that for our moon to form, then are you saying that this freak accident was repeated on all of the planets? So all of these planets all had small planetoids striking their surface until the dust debris flew up in the atmosphere until it collected into a moon that just happens to reflect the light from the sun, providing a convenient night light for us. At the very least, for it to be locked in such a perfect way where not only does it face us at all times, but it also has a moon cycle where it lights up perfectly for us as we can set our calendars to it, and we know exactly when the full moon is coming, and we know exactly when the half moon is coming and the new moon and whatnot. And so for the moon to display such a perfectly organized timekeeping system for us,
no,
we
you
must
don't.
conclude
Yeah,
that
three
at the very
quarters
least,
is
this definitely showing
75%.
signs
Stupid.
of being intelligently designed. And so once again, science has to change their story to
fuck, nigga. 3/4 is 75%, dummy. Clearly, if you got exactly that's 75. 1/3 though, stupid. 1/3. You don't know what 1/3 is. Why y'all not telling this nigga how dumb he is? Matter of fact, my homie just came over just now. I just asked him. I went out there and asked him the same question just for confirmation. I said, dude, what's 1/3 in percentages? He said 33%. I said, thank you, bro. This nigga in here trying to tell me 1/3 is motherfucking 75%. 1/3 of 100, stupid. 1/3 of 100. Yes, listen what you saying. Look, he done capped his shit up and everything and still don't realize how dumb he is. Look, still trying to prove his point. You're a complete idiot, boy. You still don't get it? Satan took 1/3. 1/3 is not 3/4. 1/3 is 1/3. 1/3 of 100. You divide it into threes. 33.3%, which actually the homie just made a point of 1/3 of a whole. Oh my God, man. I'm done, bro. Oh man. Hey, he told me too that 33% was the highest level of the Mason too. He pointed that out when he told me, when he said that 1/3 of them was devil. That 1/3 of the angels, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, was 33%. He said that was the highest. I was like, yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Nah, you're the fucking idiot. You're the fucking idiot, boy. And I tell you this all the time. And you know I'm right because I correct you all the time. Rufio, I'm constantly correcting your bitch ass. You use words, you don't pronounce words right. You know what I'm saying? All kind of shit. I'm constantly correcting you. There are over 300 levels of free. Man, shut the fuck up. You don't even know the difference between 1/3, 2/3, and 3/3, motherfucker. You doing all math in quarters. You stuck in quarters and talking about that's 1/3. What's 2/3 then, Rufio? What's 3/3, Rufio? If the devil took 1/3 of the angels with him, if he took 2/3 of the angels with him, how many did he take, Rufio? Look how dumb you are, son. You my son, boy. Bruh, if you give $100 and ask for 1/3, how much you gonna give me? Apparently, in him, he gonna give you $75, like a fucking idiot. Rufio, don't you hear men telling you that you're wrong, and you sitting here? So when one person telling you something about yourself, then maybe it might not be true. But when you have a group of people telling you something about yourself, more than likely the group is right and you're wrong, Rufio. You typing with big caps and you wrong, son. You don't want to accept it? If the devil took 2/3 of the angels with him, that's right, 75 is 3/4. Like, yeah, literally 3 25-cent quarters, nigga. Rufio, I'm an English teacher, dog. You not ready to go to battle against me at nothing, dog. Math, English, nothing. When you ready to take the test? How many times I gotta ask when you ready to take the test? I can turn on my stream. You can turn on your stream. We can both take the test right on stream at the same time and then reveal our answers and reveal our results. Yeah, you just said that, but you're not. What part of you not fucking getting the equation right don't you understand, stupid? Don't you hear us agreeing with you? How dumb are you? Don't you hear us telling you 75% is 3/4? Clearly, if you have 4 $quarter coins in front of you, 3 of them equal 75%, stupid. But you won't answer my question. If the devil took 2/3 of the angels with him when he left heaven, how many did he take, you stupid bitch? I'll ban your bitch ass, nigga. I'll ban your pussy ass, nigga. You stupid, nigga. How many did he take with him? If 1/3 is 75%, if he took 2/3 with him, how many did he take? If he took 2/3 with him, how many did he take, nigga? You can't answer that question, can you? You can't even fit. You can't look. That letting you know you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up, right? All right, you know that, right? How much is 2/3, Rufio? It don't matter if he ain't take 2/3, you dumb bitch. How much is 2/3 of 100? If 1/3 of 100 is 75%, how much is 2/3 of 100, Rufio? Who's the master, motherfucker? Say uncle, bitch. Say uncle, you dumb bitch. How much is 2/3 of the angels? How much is 2/3 of the angels? Look how many times I done asked him this question, y'all. He claimed to be so smart. The story is that Satan took 1/3 of the angels with him, right? But if the story was Satan took 2/3 of the angels with him, how many angels would he have taken? In percentage, Rufio. Got him. Say uncle, you fucking dumb bitch. I'm Papadopoulos, motherfucker. Yeah, that's what I thought, you lame motherfucker. I got your bitch ass in my stream typing in all caps and you wrong. Nigga, I'm the master, motherfucker. Fuck wrong with you, nigga. I'm always right, every time. Every time we talk and have a debate or a discussion about some shit, I always take the dub and you take the fucking L. Every single time. Did you ever go look up what the glass half empty and half full was all about? Huh? Fuck what you typing, nigga. You ain't answering the question. You a bitch in front of the whole stream. They all waiting on you to answer it, motherfucker. Ain't nobody even typing nothing. They waiting on your answer. You fucking loser. I'm Papadopoulos, motherfucker. You Webster, nigga. You Webster, nigga. I'm G Papadopoulos, motherfucker. Gas Papadopoulos, bitch. Pay homage, motherfucker. Right, this nigga finna give all his money up. Fuck the Humanity Star, motherfucker. You don't even know what 1/3 is. You think you know what the Humanity Star is, and you know about all this extra other shit, but you don't even know basic math, motherfucker. This is why you ain't never fucking with me on no type of level, bitch. Jade probably know the answer to the motherfucking question. And your puss ass sitting here beating around the bush because you know you done fucked up, nigga. Now take that L, boy. If Lucifer took 2/3 of the angels, how much percentage of the angels did he take, you lame ass nigga? Game over. Fuck wrong with you, bitch. And did you ever go look up the glass half empty and half full and what that's supposed to represent and be about? And find out that I told your ass what it was, nigga. Half empty, half full. It's about optimism versus pessimism. If you see it half full, you optimistic. If you see it half empty, you pessimistic. That's what that whole thing is about. Dumb motherfucker. Aw, you's a dumb bitch, nigga. You know you lost because you won't even answer the question. You look, he done took his font back down to regular size and shit. Yeah, humble yourself, bitch.
Make more sense out of their original theories that have to do with the Big Bang, because if you have been teaching that the Theia planet existed and ran into the Earth to create our movement, it turns out you have been telling a story that is completely science fiction.
And so this original story of the moon of how this planet-sized object crashed into the Earth, I would actually expect from a heliocentric solar system model, because there should be no order in a heliocentric model. You scientists keep on saying gravity is the magic answer to everything. You claim that you're scientific minded, but yet you keep on concluding that all the answers to everything that you can't explain is gravity.
Right. You claim you're scientific, and your mind is so powerful, yet you don't even know what 2/3 is, or 1/3 is. I'm dead.
and it operates and works its gravitational force selectively applying its gravitational pull on whatever objects that need it. And it's just become a real crutch in the scientific community as an answer to everything that they can't explain.
Right.
Look, I'm gonna leave a link to my moon playlist in the description box and in the comments. Make sure to check that out because there's a lot more information about the moon that you're gonna want to hear. Simply enter your email address at feedyourmind1.com. That way I can send you some cool news briefs throughout the week. It's completely free. For a channel like this to survive, it's going to require us to become listener supported. Please chip in $1 to $5 to help keep this channel going. Plus, I'll link you up with some free videos before they even come out. Much more information at Patreon.
How the fuck you helping my little niecey Pooh with her homework, and this how the fuck you coming? Cause you ain't helping her with her homework, bitch ass nigga. Jess is, motherfucker. Jess the smart one in the household. You just a dummy, nigga. Fuck wrong with you? This nigga said 1/3 of 100 is 75%, nigga. You lost your fucking mind. Root's percentage numbers are based on quarters, right? That's the only equation this nigga knows is on the quarter scale, nigga. Yeah, she getting there. She about damn near about to be to the information I'm talking about. Little small percentages. You know what I'm saying? That's not a hard concept. This is why you just stupid as fuck. Because them little percentages right there, you know what I'm saying? That's not a hard concept to divide 100 into 4. She's going through that. They taking a pie. They showing her a pie, which is represent 100%. You divide the pie into 4. Okay. 1/4, 2/4 is the same as 1/2. They teaching her this simple shit. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 25%, 50%, 75%. And then they show her what dividing the pie into thirds is, you dumb bitch, into a peace sign, right? You divide the pie into a peace sign. And that bitch got 3 portions and they tell her that it's 33% on each one, 33.3. 1/3, 2/3, and 3/3. You dumb bitch. Even Jade knows this. You get it now, motherfucker? Have a seat. Inflated ego at its finest.
When your hands are busy.
Nah, we ain't losing track of the fact that we was talking about nothing. Are you dumb?
The all-new Ram 1500.
Heaven is the pie. Heaven is the 100%, dummy. What you talking about? Heaven would be the 100% pie. All the angels in heaven would equal the 100%. Nah, you wasn't right, bitch, and you know what I'm saying. Satan took about 6,000 angels with him, so imagine how many he took at 75%. Wait, okay, now that's what I was about to say. Hold on, you answering a good question when I was about to ask. How many angels was in heaven altogether? Because I didn't think that was a known answer, right? So we don't know how many, I was going to say we don't know how many angels 1/3 was, because you got to know how many angels was in heaven. But you can figure how many angels was in heaven based off of the math that BA just said. So if you so smart, Rufio, here's a math question for your puss ass. Right? To redeem yourself. To come back from that major fuck up that you just displayed. If, 65. Oh, okay, I didn't know if you were saying 6 or you meant to put 6 or 5. Okay, 65,000. Damn. Okay, so check this out, Rufio. At 65,000, if that's 1/3 of the angels in heaven that was taken, how many angels was in heaven? Yeah, me either. Me either. I believe he just done fucked up and don't want to admit, you know what I'm saying, that he, why you just can't admit, oh, I was thinking something, I made a mistake, dude? Why couldn't you just do that? Why couldn't you just say, oh, I was tripping, I was thinking about something else, you right, I'm bugging. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you just can't be a man, dog? You want to know why he can't? Because he ain't a man. Because he's a bitch. Ass nigga. Doing just what a bitch ass nigga would do. 195,000 though? Boop, 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 boop. I think that's right. Right? 65 and 65 is 130. Yeah. There you go. So you see that roof? $195,000 angels. Hey, look, so that explains that though. Listen at that. Remember how I said, remember BA how I said that there's a theory that claims that we all the same fallen angels and that you get reincarnated when you have a child, is your spirit living on. So what I was saying was, if I am my father's spirit and my father is his father's spirit, you're saying, and his father is his father's spirit, because it just kept being, every time you had the next child, it was the same spirit. That means, in essence, all of us go back to the same motherfucking spirit. According to what that theory the dude was talking about, which I can play if y'all want to see it. But it makes sense. Yes, 1/3 of heaven, you dumb bitch. What part don't you get? What part don't you get what 1/3 is, motherfucker? I asked you how many was 2/3, and you can't answer the question. So you been fucked. Shut the fuck up. Whole goddamn room and whole fucking stream in here telling your dumb ass what's up, and you still sitting here acting like you got the fucking answer. Shut the fuck up, bitch. How much is 2/3, motherfucker? In percentages. If 1/3 is 75%, how much is 2/3, Rufio? Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Hate you motherfuckers, bruh. Real shit. Hate you fuck niggas, dog. Hell yeah. Real hate, nigga. Real passionate dislike, nigga. To hate something is to have a passionate dislike. And that's how I feel for this nigga, man. I hate this bitch ass nigga when he be doing this shit, bro. Pussy ass nigga just can't even be a man, dog. Nah, I didn't ask how many did he take first, bitch. My first question was, how many is 2/3 in percentages? If 75% is 1/3, how much is 2/3? 2/3 of 75 is 150. Nah. Hell nah. What? 2/3 of 75 is not no 150. That would be 75 double to get 150. That wouldn't be dividing. In order to get 2/3 of 75, you need to divide 75 into 3. You need to take the same picture of the pie, making it the peace symbol. Anytime you're talking about thirds, you need to picture a peace sign, right? It's gonna have 3 pieces to the whole pie, right? And then if it's 75%, if you're saying that the pie is 75%, that means you're gonna take 75% and divide it by 3. Which you're gonna have 25%. You see what I'm saying? That's how you do, that's how you gonna do, you said if 75 is 1/3, what is 2/3? No, you're not getting what I said. I said if 1/3 of the angels is 75%, according to Rufio, then what is 2/3 of the angels? See, it's a trick question he can't answer because he not doing the right math. Because he's looking at 1/3 is not, his 75% is not 1/3. So when I ask him how much is 2/3 of the angels in heaven in a percentage, he got to go above 75%, but he can't figure how can you get
What is the above 75%? He can't figure it because his math ain't right. It doesn't work right because he's figuring in a quarter scale when he's supposed to be on the third scale. You see what I'm saying? You ain't answered shit correctly, bitch. That's why you still ain't answered the question. How much in percentage is 2/3 of the angels? You see what I'm hitting them with, Sav? This stupid motherfucker think 1/3 of the angels of heaven is 75% of the angels. So if Satan took 2/3 of the angels with him, how much in percent did he take? What you gonna say? 85%? Well, you just gonna make up something. You gonna pull something out your asshole, right? He can't fathom what to answer my question because his math don't work right to get an answer. You see what I'm saying? And he knows this, which is why he hasn't answered the question yet. He's still in his mind trying to get the answer. You see what he's still trying to make it? If we wasn't talking about two, I'm talking about 2/3 now, you dumb bitch. Look, he done capped this shit back up. I'm talking about now. Fuck the story. Fuck the story how it go. I'm asking you a hypothetical question. You claim to be such a scholar and an intellectual, then you know what a hypothetical question is then. That means if the story said that Satan took 2/3 of the angels with him, even though we know the story says he took 1/3, but if the story said Satan took 2/3 of the angels with him, how much in percentage of the angels would he have taken, Rufio? We will never get Rufio to answer this question. I will put $1,000 on it right now. Rufio will not answer that question. That's on God. That's on God. Rufio will never answer this question I'm asking him. I'm the fucking master, dog. This is why I got the juice, nigga. Because you ain't fucking with me, boy. Well, since you know so much, then you answer it, dumbass. What do you mean? I just told you that question can't be answered. You dumbass just made what? Your dumbass just mad I answered the original question right. But you can't answer the question that I want you to answer now though. Because you know you fucked up. Savage is right. With Rufy's logic, if a third is 75, then 2/3 is 150, but that's wrong as fuck. Wait, Savage is right. If with Rufy's logic, if a third is 75, then 2/3 is 150. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right about that. Because all three of the thirds would be 75. Yeah, according to him, if a third is 75%. No, look, this is why that shit don't work, though. This is why that shit don't work. You saying 75 and 150, but we not talking about angels. We not talking about things. We talking about percentage, and there ain't no 150% of a pie, right? So let's go back. Let's rewind and take a step back. With Rufy's logic, 1/3 is 75%, right? He was saying Savage was right, but he was saying that 150 is wrong as a... No, you don't get it. But anyway, look. Right, I know, BA. I know. But what I'm saying is, go back and do what I'm saying as in a percentage, and then you can't give 150 as an answer, right, Sav? So check it out. If Rufy thinks that 1/3 of the angels was 75% of the angels, then if Satan took 2/3 of the angels, how much of a percent is that? Answer that. Man, I'm the fucking master, dog. Nigga. Shut the fuck up, nigga. You can't answer the question, bitch. You ain't got nothing to say until you answer the question, nigga. You
You talking out your motherfucking asshole till you answer that question, boy. Look, Savage, the question even wasn't for Savage, and he over here trying to answer the shit. Just to help your puss ass out. But he can't even get the answer. He said 1/3 is 70. So you still answering another question besides what I'm asking. You still talking about what he said and what everybody else said, but what the fuck I'm saying. See, you mixing what BA said and you mixing what Rufy said and trying to formulate some shit right now, Savage. BA said 65,000 and all them numbers as being the angels. Rufy only was dealing in percentages. He never was talking about a number of angels. He was only dealing with a percentage of heaven. That's not the same thing. My question is, again, to Rufio, if you trying to answer it, Savage, fuck whatever you thought it was. This is what the question is again. If 1/3 of the angels is 75%, which we know 1/3 is 33%, but according to Rufio, if Satan took 1/3, a third of the angels with him when he left heaven, and that was 75% of the angels, 75% of 100 of the angels, of 100%, not 100 angels, 75% of the whole amount of angels, which would be 100%. If Satan took 2/3 of the angels, how much percent would he have taken? I don't have to rewind my stream and listen to the question. I'm asking you the question right now. Why are you focusing on the past instead of what the fuck I'm saying right now? I know there is no answer. Thank you, sir. That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm trying to make. Now you getting on the fucking, you know what I'm saying, with the program. He cannot go above 70. He don't know what to say. He don't know what the fuck to give. Shut the fuck up, Rufio. You don't have nothing else to say until the angels in heaven, nigga, in percentage. You fucking dumb bitch. We all waiting on you to answer that shit. I got a